What's up, guys? It's Super High Titan here today with the VaporCast, the Vaporwave podcast. I guess that represents hologems. I don't really know, but we're here today with my co-host Zorark Films. I can't speak today.
What's up? What's up?
And then we have Vylter with her new album Adult Glitch.
Hey.
What's up?
Oh, she glitched. Oh man.
Yeah, see, I can do it in real life. It's me and the girl from Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah, we can both do it for real.
I was confused for a second. I forgot that we had to do that joke again. And then we have Stay in School with his new album, A Whole Lifetime.
Yeah, that's me. Would it be everybody?
So we're gonna get right into it. Just shoot the shit, So just gotta ask both of you guys, how are you guys doing today?
Well, I'm
Mad
vibing.
Vibing. What'd you say, Vylter?
Mad decent.
Mad decent. All right. How's my co-host doing? Zorark, how are you doing?
I'm living.
That's good. That's great. I'm alive.
You do be living.
We're all alive. Wow.
That's great.
This is new.
That's probably for the best.
That's yeah.
Have you been alive for, say, a whole lifetime by any chance?
Depends on what you.
That was good.
Depends on.
That's good.
Depends on.
Got him.
Okay, you gotta go. You got it. All right. So okay. I guess like the first question that wasn't how are you doing should be so how did you guys get introduced to holojams?
Good question.
I don't remember.
I put out a tweet saying, "Yo, any label want to put out an album I just made? It's really good, I swear." And then Holojams said, "Yeah, me." And I sent them over, and they put me in a group chat, and I've been stuck here for like about a month.
Stuck.
Yeah.
That's
Stuck.
an interesting word.
They have given me
Stuck.
water though, so it's pretty nice.
They've given me water. Wow. We're just not feeding you. All
No
right.
food.
I don't need food. I
So
exist off books.
So
Yeah, I was already
Vylter-
in a basement, so they just put me in the dungeon at Holojams.
Wait a minute. It's whoa. So Vylter, how did you meet holojams?
I don't recall the exact. I don't remember the exact tweet that led us to speaking to each other. It very much feels like they weren't there one day and then they were.
That's kind of how
Yeah.
it was with me. Like he just followed me randomly one day, and then when I was supposed to put out CrossFit on what's it called?
Bogus.
Yeah, bogus. And then
Well,
I had to. He told me like he liked Buffalo City and stuff, and he wanted an album of mine on his label. So I was like, okay, I'll put like Prelude to CrossFit on there, because at first I wasn't thinking it was gonna be long term, but then it just kind of turned into something different, and then we kind of linked up, and then now I have like 8 albums basically on there,
Yeah.
almost
Yeah,
9,
yeah.
if you kind of collab album, but yeah. So Zora, he just kind of met. Didn't you just kind of meet Hello from the group chat?
oh, that's like. How did I do that? I think I met you. I don't remember how. I think I listened to Prelude, and then you hit me up saying, "Yo, want to join this group chat?"
Yeah, it was
And
something
then I
like
just-
that. Yeah.
I do not have good memory.
Yeah, neither do I. But
All right.
I don't
I
know
got
what
a
to do well in like those group chats on Twitter because like there's so many of us in there and there's so much information, and I feel like if I don't check it every 5 minutes, I've really missed something.
I swear.
It's the Holograms fam.
Man, I turned off notifications for a week, and I joined back, and y'all were talking about like some weird shit. I don't remember, but like
It's always
it's
some
kind
weird
of just
shit.
combobulating.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
always
it's
some weird
always
shit.
some weird shit. I
Discombobulated.
live for that. I live for that.
Yeah, I live for it too, but I'm like one time I was just in there and I think it was Dream Gliding, and he just said something. I was like, why would you say that? What are you talking about? Zoro, did you have a question for them?
Yes. So both of you, what was your first introduction to vaporwave? Like, what brought you into the scene? And stay at school. You can go first if you want.
All right. It's actually a very it's actually a very nice, soothing story. So, I believe it was back in secondary 3, so that's 5 years ago. So like 2014 to 2015, I was staying in Florida with my family for a vacation at the time. But the thing is, um, shit hasn't changed. I am and was a dweeb. So I didn't spend time with my family at all. I thought they were dweebs too, more so than I. And I spent most of my time at a at the hotel's internet station, right?
Mm.
And I brought my pair of headphones and I was just goofing around in YouTube one day, and I see Blank Banshee Zero,
Oh.
and I say, "Oh, that looks pretty neat. Let's look into this." So I listen to the whole project, and I think, "Oh Jesus Christ, this is the best thing I've ever heard in my life."
Right.
So I hop on the YouTube recommended train. I go take a look at all the classics. You know, I meet James Ferraro, Oniotrix Point Never. I meet like Vectroid. Like I think I accidentally listened to Esprit. Like I realize now that like he's a mainstay in the vaporwave community. I thought it was just like one of the smaller albums that I'm a musical pioneer. Look at me
That's what I thought
colonizing
too.
YouTube.
I remember I found that tape. I think I was on Bandcamp randomly and just I was like, I want to listen to new vaporwave, and then just save that to my phone.
Yeah, like musical finds just
Yeah.
slap you out of nowhere.
Then I found out
But
that
the
was
thing
George
is,
Clinton.
yeah, who would have known? But the thing
Very
is, I didn't know jack shit about any independent music scene.
Right.
Like, I was sticking to my Spotify. I think that was the second year of me owning a Spotify subscription, and basically everything I listened to was Ninja Sex Party. You know, Daniel Avdaniel from the Game Grumps,
Yeah.
like his band, and also this band from Canada called Entertainment System. They did like rock and metal covers of really good video game songs. They're actually really, really good.
Right.
Like I look back on it now and I don't think like, oh, that was shit music, you know what I'm saying? No, like it's actually really good.
Right.
So I do highly recommend for our listeners to go check them out. They're a great band. I think they did like 3 projects. Very good. Highly recommended. But discovering vaporwave for me was kind of like a turning point of sorts in my musical adventure when it came to actually actively listening.
Right.
So I kind of like took steps to discover new albums. I discovered new artists. I hopped on forums, mainly Reddit because that was what I was comfortable with.
Right.
So I just kind of like explored the scene and kind of like stayed in the shadows until last year, where I actually started actively listening again. At first, it was just because of renewed interest. You know, I was in CJEP first year. It was kind of like hard. New friends, new social experiences. I kind of wanted to reclude to myself for a bit, and I rediscovered Vaporwave. So I got back into the train, listened to some albums. Party once, I think it was in April, and I saw the announcement on Reddit for Electronicon, and I said, oh, geez, I need to be at this. So I made the impulse decision to pre-order tickets the minute they came out, and I basically worked all summer just to get barely enough money to actually go to New York from Quebec on a bus. And Electronicon for me is a whole other story. I'll be glad to say it another time, but it was great. It was basically like the actual point where I realized, oh my God, Vaporwave is an actual scene now.
Right.
It's grown so much since I left it, and it's become this beautiful, wild, unexpected thing. And after Electronicon, I just like kind of like listened actively, participated in the community, but eventually I just decided, oh, I want to bring my own take on this. You know, I have a lot of musical influences, so maybe I want. So I brought out the Experience Unknown EP. It was all right in my opinion, not my best work, and then I stayed hard at work. I stayed in school and made a whole lifetime, and that's where we're at. And I
Wow.
think the thing that really marks my discovery of vaporwave was one night in 2015 where I stared in the Florida skyline listening to Macintosh Plus 420. You know the one.
Wow.
You know the song.
That's a
Yeah.
story
But it was
right
beautiful.
there.
Oh yeah, it was great.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah, that is.
Wow. So, Vylter, you want to go ahead and, share your story of vaporwave?
Well, I've been thinking about this, and I don't really know that I have a great answer. One of the things about vaporwave that caught my ear, I'd say 4 years ago, was it reminded me a lot of how it felt to take like cassettes and records that my family had when I was really little and slow them down,
Mm.
like to
Oh,
play them at slower speeds. My father had a Fostex 4-track tape recorder that he had since I was like 2 years old. I'm really telling my age here. So when I was about 6 or 7, I would just take the cassettes of stuff we had around the house and would just play with the pitch wheel.
Right.
And I realized some of the music had a different quality about it when it was a little slower or if it was just pitched down a little.
Right.
And that never left the back of my mind for like 30 years. Then I would work in like different sample-based genres. Like I worked on a lot of hip hop in the 2000s, and I had done some trip hop in the 90s. So little elements of pulling slowed down samples of other material for my work was part of what I had been doing since I was a teenager.
Right.
But
That's dope.
it wasn't until after I had been buying some Death Dynamic Shroud and Mesh cassettes from Orange Milk, because I just kind of bought everything Orange Milk put out for like 3 years, that I realized that there was this genre based around that idea. And I had heard some chop and screw music in the 2000s that felt like where chillwave was going and where vaporwave was kind of beginning in the early 2010s.
Right.
So somewhere around 2018, after thinking about like how much sample-based music and how much changing the way that other things sounded, and to try to make sound worlds out of this kind of glacial pace, if you will, out of like manipulating sound, really was something I wanted to do more of. So I think I started doing it in earnest about a year and a half.
Right. Mm.
And, I left some stuff on what used to be my Bandcamp, that is now our label's Bandcamp, up from other genre experiments, just to show that, like, hey, I learned how to do this in public on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wanted people to see a transition from a world where this wasn't really the kind of music I was making into something that at least feels like vaporwave. I'm not entirely sure that anything I make really ever is. To be honest, like I don't really know that anything I do is considered classic anything. And like it's another subgenre, I'm sure.
I mean, but that's what's
Yeah.
unique about it, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
Yeah, and so that's what I like about it. Like people seem to leave room for people to take what's expected and do something new with it. And something I know a couple of us were talking about yesterday. Like it seems like a week can equal like a year in growth in the scene.
Yes,
And
definitely.
so what you were doing last
really
week might not
does.
really make sense anymore. Everyone's on a new wave now.
Yeah, like I mean, from where I started when I made Prelude to CrossFit in Buffalo City, like it took a lot of time to make. It took a lot of time just to like make albums, and now like when I was done with the Mallsoft album, Snap just like that, Return of the King, Snap just like that. Because it was all kind of pent up over a period of time because I was in Louisiana and like I didn't have my computer, so I was just stuck in like Louisiana without my computer. And then I don't know how I stumbled back into the genre, but vaporwave just started coming up, and I was just like, oh, I might start listening to that. So I guess the next question we should ask is so what's your favorite vaporwave album? I'm gonna have Vylter go first on this one. What's your favorite vaporwave album?
Oh, see, here's why I hate this question.
Oh no. Oh no.
Also, it's the same reason I hate the top 4 albums thing on on Twitter. It's like, are we really going to be friends with each other and then an opportunity to like talk about what our favorite thing is, not mention a person we know that is reading this tweet?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
good point.
just a little dicey for me. And to be honest, I really hope I haven't heard my favorite vaporwave album yet.
Mm.
Yeah.
Shit, that's
Like, I
really
start,
interesting.
That's
I start
very
every
optimistic.
day. I start every day off that way because that's what keeps me going back to Bandcamp to look for more stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think it's cool that some of us have our stuff on Spotify. It's excellent for marketing, and I'm sure it's like a personal goal for a lot of artists to have that kind of outreach. But I live on Bandcamp. Like I think I've bought 2 pop albums in the last 5 months. And I'm not saying that to pat
What's the
myself
rent
on
on
the
there?
back. That's like a new change for me. Like to pretty much just stick to Bandcamp. My collection's got like 6,000 titles in it, and some of them, you know, you can buy someone's entire 200 album discography for 50 cents on Bandcamp. Some people want like $10 per digital album. So it's just I do as I can when I can.
Right.
And I just like to be able to remember what I've listened to, and that's why I like the collection option in the Bandcamp app, because I don't have to have a favorite album. I just have like 12 or 15 things I can just grab that I know I want to hear at any given moment, and that's usually how I spend my day.
Definitely.
That's like the most diplomatic thing I
Very
could have possibly said, right?
Maybe. That's all good. Stay in school. What's your favorite vaporwave album? Like number one.
Well, I have a very nuanced opinion about this. I do believe there are many contributing factors to be a favorite album. You know, you really have to push the limits of creativity. You have to push the limits of your equipment, the genre as well. So it's pretty difficult to actually quantify what my favorite album is. If there was an album that meant the most to me, it would be Late Night Delight, because that was the first tape I ever bought from the vaporwave scene.
Right.
If it was something that meant to me that meant a lot to me in a relationship way, I'd say Bodywork by Negative Gemini, because that's basically how me and my girlfriend right now got together, you know?
Right.
Like she texted me while she was back in Quebec, while I was at Electronicon, and I got a crush on her. Like I already had a crush on her before, but then she texted me and she said she liked vaporwave, and oh boy,
That's
head over heels over head, you know.
It's cute.
But if it was an album that actually pushed my creativity a lot, let me look at my tape rack. I would definitely say No Lives Matter by Christ.
Oh my God, yes. Oh wow.
Because the thing, track 2 on that album, Judas Inside,
Right.
actually pushed what I thought vaporwave could be.
Yeah.
You know, like I only heard that type of sound on like some DDS, you know, I'll Try Living Like This and Classroom Sex Tape. Like I thought I knew what real experimental vapor could be. And then I listened to Judas Inside, which is pure chaos. It's noise, punching you in the face, you know, kicking you in the throat. You know, your groin is in powder on the floor, dead ass. And like
dead ass.
dead ass. You know? And like I think
man.
like I seriously thought when I listened to that album, yo, this vaporwave shit goes hard, man. So like I have a lot of favorite albums. Like right now, one of my favorite albums is Alone Online, mainly because of Gay Rats.
Yes,
Gay
the
Rats
Grats.
classic.
I fucking
Gay
love
Rats.
the
Rats,
Grats,
man.
Awesome
But
album.
there's also this one album. I actually really wanted to tell this story on the podcast. I named it Arc.
Go ahead. That's what we're here
I named
for.
it Arc, but that's because there is no name.
Right.
There is no name to this album. I only have the cover to go to know it by, and I haven't found it on Bandcamp. The guy who sold it to me at Electronicon never told me what it was. He told me, "Oh, this is an unreleased project by an unnamed artist, and it's not yet on Bandcamp." And he never told me the Bandcamp page. But he was also doing tapes. He also sold me an unprinted Esmeralda Malta tape, like the yellow version that never came out. He sold me that from Haircuts for Men. So like, I tried hunting on his Bandcamp page and nothing pulled up.
Damn.
So like, that's an album that means a lot to me. There are a lot of albums that mean a lot to me, you know. Like some.
Yeah, it's almost like someone just like gave you a window into a world where that album is already a big deal, but in your timeline, you're the only one who has it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one who has it. Like that album,
as far as you know,
there were 5 copies.
As far as you know.
And in the box at the end of the event, I saw the guy again, and I told him, "Oh yeah, I'm super hyped for these tapes." And he said, "What?" Because he was only there for an exchange. That's the story of the Haircuts for Men tape. I actually bought illegally a vaporwave tape.
Oh boy.
Like if
Oh,
I put this tape in my tape deck right now, you will hear nothing. It is a purely blank chrome tape,
What
right?
the heck?
And
Really?
that's because they were supposed to be handing off the tapes at Electronicon to be recorded onto.
Right.
Hmm.
Damn, they
So I got
forgot.
so I got in touch with the label owner, and he said, "Oh shit, you have one of those? How did you get that?" And I said, "Oh, I bought it at Electronicon." And he said, "All right, well, Chief, how do I say this lightly? You weren't fucking supposed to." So,
What?
Ain't wrong.
yeah,
Oh, the
yeah.
customer's
So
always
like,
wrong, bitch.
the customer is always wrong, and I
The
learned that through
customer's
3 years of
always
working
wrong.
at a corner store. God bless America, you know.
Oh,
But like, yeah, illegally bought a tape, got another mystery tape on the side. They both mean a lot to me because it's a great story to tell at parties for people who don't know what vaporwave is and still don't.
Right. Yeah, I like that late night delay answer though, because like that was the first album I heard. Like honestly, because
Yeah.
I was looking up Michael Jackson off the wall, and I was listening to it for like a
Oh
minute,
yeah.
and then I went into the comment section, and people like just because I like to like go into the deep rabbit hole that is the YouTube comment section, and people
you're
were like,
so brave.
people,
You're so
so brave. People were like, "Oh, this."
Firstly, fucking why, but secondly, oh, so brave.
We
I don't
honor
know.
our troops in this
I don't know
Discord.
why.
Mhm.
I don't know why,
Yes.
but I went down in the comment section and people were like Saint Pepsi this. I'm like, who the fuck is Saint Pepsi, right? So I look up Saint Pepsi, enjoy yourself, and I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this?
Welcome
And
to
then-
Vaporwave.
And then went
Yeah.
into the comments, people were like, oh, it's Vaporwave, da da da. I'm like, what the fuck is Vaporwave? So like I watched a couple of videos on it, and then was hooked. And then kind of got out of it for a minute until like last month or 2 months ago, and then 8 albums later. So Zoro, do you have the next question?
Sure, let's just go for it. It's gonna be a little specific question. Vylter, I'm saying it wrong. I can't. Ugh, whatever.
It's Vylter. It's okay.
Vylter. I'm gonna get that right one day. Just not
So
today.
think of it
Not
this way:
to-
it's like saying the word filter, but just hang on that F a little bit longer till it sounds like a V, and there you go.
Vylter. There we go. I almost got it. All right. So run me down like the creative process, the inspirations, and everything that kind of went through you when you were creating Adult Glitch.
Yeah, I need to know.
Like how that all worked,
I need to
because
know.
it's really something, and I really want to know.
So I was listening back to it this morning, maybe anticipating there being a question about it, and it was the first time in about a week, which is to say that basically once it came out, thank fuck, that's over. Because I was making other stuff too while Adult Glitch was being made. There's actually a sister album to Adult Glitch that's being submitted right now. I don't know if the label's going to like it or not, but it's really fun to try to see what their limits are.
Right.
But the Adult Glitch thing was just an attempt to get away from sample-based choices just for a minute, because I hadn't made an ambient or classical record in a minute,
Right.
and
Yeah.
just seeing pieces of what I liked about the sonic capacity of vaporwave, but not make the music about nostalgia.
Right.
I wanted it to have a kind of sense of architecture about it, where like it was a growing city as you listen. And there's a Twitter thread
Nice.
that I started about asking people about, okay, so where on a level of importance is like your city's landscape to you? Like, do you have a favorite building from a town you lived in as a child? Is there a ruin? Is there a place that used to be open that's closed now, even prior to COVID, but just like, businesses that go out, arenas that get shut down and abandoned, malls that no one goes to, those kinds of questions. And I got some good answers. And some of that went into the construction of like 2 tracks.
Right.
Like the third track is definitely about the arena in Cardiff, Wales that Gareth tweeted about. And I just wanted to try to encapsulate what it was like to slowly build up the city infrastructure of that part of Wales and what it did maybe to the community. How many of the locals that lived there had to be like a part of the process of getting it built. And I think about like, what if we could ask these questions about how things were created in Rome or in Egypt?
Right.
Think about the humanity of what it takes for people to like work together to build things.
Definitely.
So
Wow.
that's kind of what Adult Glitch is mostly about, was about interrupting this wave of thought about capitalizing on this wave of nostalgia where every move we make speaks to another move one of us is making. I was like, I want to make something kind of separate.
Yeah, like I definitely noticed that too, because like I was just listening to it before, you know, the pod, and listened to it last night, and just got a couple listens, and it just, you know, it's really just unexpected, because like I'm listening to this and I'm like, because like my first thought was, what is this gonna be? Like I don't know what to expect from Vylter, to be honest. Like I heard your single and I was like, oh, this is good. So what am I supposed to expect? And then I listened to it and I was just like, what the fuck? The second track, was like, I was just like, I don't know what I felt. I thought I felt like anxiety. Like I'm not even an anxious person like that, but I felt it for like 5 minutes, and I was like, I'm creeped out for some reason. But it was really good, and I really liked it. And props to you for making that album, you know, and trying to divert the usual, you know, capitalistic, nostalgic wave that is the scene, you know, which was what I was trying to do with all my albums, was just be like, oh, you know, let's give it the classic, oh, let's make it, I don't know, like make it more nostalgic for people, you know, and da 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 da. You know, you didn't do that at all. It wasn't nostalgic. It was different.
Well, and I thought about this too, like, so the median opinion of like that which is vaporwave, this kind of vague 1980 X year where these restaurants are still open and people still dress like this, and malls still look like this, and movies look like this, and music sounded like this. It isn't that Adult Glitch is meant to say fuck all that. It was more like what goes deeper beyond the nostalgia is like missing the people that were there, not just the stuff.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like architecture just seemed to be a way to tap into it, because I think in commerce we treat people that are workers in what's the word I'm looking for here? Oh man, this is totally escaping me here. So people that like work for a living, in retail, that's the word I'm looking for. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like we tend to kind of look past their importance and their humanity when we're in a workplace where they are. It's not until after like they no longer have a place to work we start to wonder like what happened to all the people that work.
Right.
And when it comes to like construction sites, so when it comes to civic planning, when it comes to, especially in countries where there's totalitarian leadership, where everything's being built by like basically prisoners,
Definitely.
essentially, you start to think about like the works that we look at in these ruins, like they really don't just speak to the way things used to be. They also speak to who used to be here.
Right.
Oh wow.
That's
so it
that's
kind of
deep. Like I was surprised at that answer.
Well, that's why you feel anxiety on some of those tracks. Like, I mean, the ghosts of who did the work before are meant to have a voice in some of them,
Right.
especially track 3. That's why the Welsh folk song was used like so like violently in the first bit, and then as it goes on, it gets a little more peaceful and grounded.
Right.
It's not because anything got better. It's because, you know, it gets harder and harder to remember these people the longer it's been since they've passed on, and what we really have to remember them by are the things that are still standing.
Right. Wow. I'm about to cry. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
All right. Damn. I mean, that's
Also, did you notice the Christ Alone Online touch at the end of the last track? Yeah, I actually added that at last minute because I love that album so much, and I wanted to put a little chunk of my love for the Gay Rats right at the end.
Gay rats, dude.
Gay rats, dude.
I call them rats, the G apostrophe rats.
So
good rats.
So stay in
They're
school.
rats.
So stay in school.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So what was your whole like, you know, the creative process, your inspiration, and the influence for a whole lifetime?
It's actually quite a personal story, I think.
I love stories. Let's get into this one.
Yeah. Back in my first year of my job, right, corner store basically. I stayed very loyal to that corner store. I don't know why, but in the first year, I met a friend. I wouldn't call him a friend right now because we've kind of grown distant. We're acquaintances at best, but back then I would have considered him a friend. So that friend basically showed me what my life could be if I just kind of like went out more, you
Right.
know,
Definitely.
like kind of took chances a bit. And he showed me a very beautiful perspective on life, you know, considering he wanted to dad 27 at that time. You know, he wanted to be a part of the 27 club. He always had this mantra of living fast, dying young. And honestly, I kind of got intoxicated on it. You know, I kind of felt the allure of that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And eventually, I started following him along. I went to parties with, you know, he made me take the first hit on his new bong. It was like an 18 percolator, insane system. Like, not to talk too much about weed, just in case the feds are listening to some vaporwave podcasts on their off time, but like,
Just on
it
the
was
off.
some big. Oh yeah, just on the off chance, you know, it was some big OG Kush, you know, like some 30%.
Right.
It was in hard. It was in hard, but like he made me have so many new experiences. It was very enlightening for me as a person because I'm usually more alone, especially back then. You know, I had some close friends. I started to get more popularity at school because I beat depression, came out, and like I was getting a lot more popular.
Right.
But I still kind of felt recluded to my side of the court until I met my friend. And my friend showed me this whole new way of living. But eventually I got a text from him. No, rather, it was a text from one of our mutual friends saying that he had suffered from an overdose the night before. He had mixed antidepressants with alcohol and was currently in the hospital getting pumped.
Damn.
And I just kind of felt this wave of sadness. He lived, by the way.
Yeah, I was
He's
gonna
perfectly
ask if,
fine.
like, is he okay? Because that's
Yeah, he's
that
perfectly
sucks.
fine. He got off drugs, you know, he stayed in school, wink.
That's
And
good.
Please leave. No, you're fine.
okay.
No, you're
No,
fine.
no, no, no,
My
no, no, no,
brand,
no.
my
Don't
brand
leave.
is comedy, okay? I trademarked that.
I know,
okay?
I know.
You can go to the U.S. Copyright Office, okay? You'll find my name. Stay in Pierre
The
School,
US
okay?
Copyright Office. All right, fair enough.
Yes, the U.S. Copyright Office. It's also valid in Canada, if you were asking. Maybe Mexico. I didn't do my
Maybe
research
Mexico.
much on that. Maybe Mexico, okay?
Possibly.
But yeah.
Possibly. I will have to inquire at a later time and place.
Oh man.
All right.
Back to
the
I'm getting
story.
sidetracked here. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, overdoses.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Oh,
so
that
that
was-
took a sharp turn. Oh yeah, but seeing my friend just kind of I mean, he definitely felt empty, but he also looked empty. There was no life in his eyes.
I know
His
that feeling.
skin was pasty white like porcelain. He had no usual jump in his voice. He was bedridden most of the time. He only got out of the house when it was time to work. He didn't even take a break.
Right.
Like, he just went straight back to work as livid as a day-old clam on the beach, you know. And
Damn.
that's pretty livid.
That
so,
is
like,
pretty livid.
I saw... What?
I said that is pretty livid.
I mean, that is pretty livid. But, yeah, he just... It was kind of like a shock, in a sense,
Yeah.
to see to see a person I hold so close to me just kind of, like, almost die.
Right.
He died inside, for sure, but he almost also physically died.
It puts you in a different
And
place.
yeah, so I was at work 2 to 3 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I was messing around in Ableton, and I was making drunk drive. Like, drunk driving was basically the child of a short jam session I had at work and a Korg M1. So, like, I was making that, and I said, oh, this is actually very interesting. So
Right.
maybe I could actually make this into something. And I thought back to my friend and realized I could make this about him. I could, like, tell his story in a more generalized sense.
Right.
So I took the inspiration I got from drunk driving and what inspired drunk driving. So let's actually, like, hop tracks a bit to talk about what inspired that album. I would say that, like, since I joined the radio club at school, my friends have been showing me a lot more music than I was actually like used to listening to. They showed me Negro Swan by Blood Orange, great album. They showed me Mall Grab, and I just kind of fell in love with Mall Grab. Like, this lo-fi house aesthetic was just so enchanting. It had this darkness, but this levity. It had these speaker piercing kicks and this beautiful rhythm, and it just kind of felt like a dream of a party. And I told myself, one day I will be good enough to emulate the same thing that Mall Grab is making me feel right now. And that was basically my goal for this album. I wanted to make people feel like how I felt listening to Mall Grab for the first time.
Definitely.
So, yeah. So, you know, since I started DJing, I think it was literally almost an exact year ago, I, you know, I felt, oh, maybe I can make an album that has some songs that could actually be mixed and played at parties.
Definitely.
So I researched house a lot, from its beautiful roots as an anti-racist, like, resistance art form, to this innovative underground showcase of musical technology, to this kind of hope for a new generation type music, especially identified through the Second Summer of Love back in the UK, like in the 90s, where house and techno and acid really got its claws deep into the kids' minds and art.
Right.
You know, like, house had a very deep impact on the musical landscape as we see it today. You know, it was basically the mainstream popularization of the 4-on-the-floor beat in electronic music. It was a great middle finger to all those racist ass, homeless ass, not to offend any homeless people, they're great, but like,
They're great.
they were
people.
bad. Yeah, they're great people.
Yeah, they're awesome.
But like, the guy who did Disco Demolition Night, I don't want to be too drastic here, okay? Maybe he's a great guy off the mic. But the fact that he blew up so many people of color's music and their cultural identity in Detroit, and I feel like that deserves, you know, maybe the death penalty. I don't know.
Yeah, wouldn't
Like,
hurt. I mean, it hurt
yeah.
him, but that'd be it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that'd be it, you know? Like, the thing is, he destroyed a lot of people's music, you know, their cultural identity. He went after disco and specifically black music and destroyed it. But the scene in which those people of color and people of different sexualities actually, you know, lived in, you know, they lived in that scene, they rebirthed it. And since I saw my friend die, somewhat, I felt like it was almost my duty to take my inspirations and revive this idealistic image I had of him in my brain in music.
Definitely. Wow.
That's really touching.
That's
Yeah.
mad touching. Like, bro, like,
That's just,
yeah, that's, man, like, I feel like when Vectroid made Macintosh Plus, I don't think she thought of this. Or not Macintosh Plus, but Floral Shop. I don't think she thought this. Not even. I don't even take it to Vectroid. Like Daniel Lopatin and stuff like that. Like when he made Echo Gems, I don't even feel like he knew that this was gonna be how it was. Like I feel like he didn't know that this is gonna blow up like this.
Yeah, but I think that if he actually like immersed himself in the culture of vaporwave as it is nowadays, I think he'd be pretty proud of what he innovated, you know, like he'd look down at us from his pedestal, like composing that Diamond movie with Adam Sandler, and he'd say, you know what, those kids are doing pretty all right for themselves, I'll tell you what.
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh, and also there was a
Definitely.
second inspiration. I got really deep into drum machines, and I saw the Oberheim DMX in a demo on YouTube, and like the kick just blew me away. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna sample this.
Right.
So I did, and the DMX is in almost every track on a whole lifetime. Also the Roland 909 with a lot of distortion, and also the TB303 and the SH101.
Dope.
I gotta love that acid, man. You gotta pay respect to acid.
Definitely.
They made drugs cool.
They made drugs cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like your grandparents in the 60s doing shrooms to combat the Vietnam War. That's cool and all. But did I ever tell you about my friend passing out on LSD in a basement of a sweaty party? I think that's a lot more resistance, okay?
The miracle of
Like-
being able to pass out on LSD, like I don't remember a single trip where sleep ever entered my mind, and I wished that it would.
I've seen people fucked up. Like, as a working DJ, I've seen people fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I guess if you like dance yourself to exhaustion, hell yeah. But
Yeah, you're.
most of my
No,
acid
not
trips were
even.
like,
Not
Not
even.
exhausted.
People just like took one too many drinks and just kind of like passed out next to the DJ booth.
oh,
And I had to
okay.
leave eventually. And I just saw him like, and I just saw him on, sitting down next to the DJ booth. And I said, "Sweet dreams, you beautiful soldier."
Yo.
You
Yo.
have sensitivity to someone that far gone. Anything else is inhumane.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, they just mumbled.
Yeah.
They just mumbled. Like at the end of every vaporwave. No, not at the end of every vaporwave set, but at the end of every like normie music sets I do for like CJET parties, I always put an hour of vaporwave in it. And last time it lasted 2 hours on a vaporwave on a Future Funk set.
Ooh.
Jeez.
That's nice.
Then some
That's dope.
then
as
some
hell.
bitch decided to ask me to play Dance Monkey, and I just kind of bolted.
I
Uh.
would've- Oh boy.
Hate that song.
Oh,
Jesus
boy.
Christ.
Oh boy. Oh man.
The things the plebes will dance to really never surprise me.
Oh man. Oh man.
No, they're actual teenagers. This was like not actual teenagers, but they're actual adults.
not robots.
Like they got
They're
into
not
a
robots.
They're
bar
not robots.
to ask a seasoned DJ that is quite skillful in his art of mixing songs, knowing a repertoire and reading a crowd and knowing how to activate a party to play Dance Monkey when there's 13 people left in the building. How dare she?
I think that's why she wanted to play Dance Monkey, because there wasn't that
So
many
people would actually
there.
leave?
Yeah.
You need to put it in
Yeah,
your
but-
rider that I don't play fucking Dance Monkey.
Yes, please play.
I don't even deserve to
Don't
have
nobody
a
want.
writer.
Don't nobody want to hear that.
But the setup at my regular spot, that's pretty neat though.
Yeah.
Like 2 Denon DJ SC5Ks and the X1800 mix. Beautiful. I love that magnetic fader. Because I do scratch during my sets, and I do invite anyone that's listening right now to actually hunt me down and come to my shows
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
that I DJ.
Okay. Thank
Please,
Couldn't you have just said come
please,
to your
any
shows?
internet
Do we really need to
stalkers.
hunt you down first?
I mean, hunt me down respectfully. Like, send me flowers, but like just a touch of anthrax in the flowers. Just to
Wait
make
a
it
minute.
interesting.
Wow.
That's not.
So draw a
That's
really
nice.
sentimental bead on a guy.
Oh yeah, take it hit on me. I don't care.
What?
Right on. I mean, we're all
Alright.
nihilists. We're all doing
Okay.
vape at this point, right?
Yeah, basically.
Oh man.
So yeah, that's the inspiration for a whole lifetime. Weird drum machines and my friend almost dying from a drug overdose. How cool is life, boys?
That
How
last
cool
part.
is life?
Just want to let
Yeah.
everybody know, if it sounded like I was laughing when he was talking about his friend who drug overdosed, I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at his jokes.
We
Just
were
wanna-
laughing with him.
Laughing with.
Just
Oh.
laughing with
Yeah.
him. I wasn't laughing
Uh,
at
Like I
all.
don't take offense to anything really easily. Like I'm not a very offended person. So like, just don't laugh at him,
Yeah,
but laugh with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Laugh. You know what? No, don't even laugh with me. Laugh with us.
All right.
Stay in school, kids.
All right. Stay in school, kids. What type of anti-drug commercial? Stay in school, kid. All right. Damn.
Yeah.
Shit. Zorog, do you have the next question?
I don't know if I have any more questions.
That's all we got.
No.
I got a question.
Look at our DMs, Zoro. Please. All right. What's the question?
I haven't even bothered looking. Hold on, let me see.
What's your question?
I mean,
I'll text the Hollow Fam real quick.
don't worry.
Any
We'll edit this part out.
question?
Nah. Stay in. It's gotta stay.
Everyone
in.
says that, and then
Everybody's
everything
got a
stays in the
question.
podcast.
It's
Or
content.
podcasts. Piss cause. Okay, yeah, I don't know how to type.
Phone's gonna die.
Podcast. Please.
But let me check out some questions.
So it's
quick. I got a little bit more questions for you guys, and these. So this is to dilute from the just from vaporwave and stuff. Just random life questions that I just wrote down. They're really stupid, but it's all good.
nothing is stupid in life.
All right, so this is I'm gonna get the stupidest one out the way. What's your favorite color?
Good question. Good question. Does it have to be an RGB code?
No,
Does it have to be
fine.
hex?
No, you're fine. It can be
Okay,
whatever
I
you
would
want.
say a very light turquoise leaning more to green.
Right.
Like almost pastel, but like just a touch of saturation, just to make it flirty enough.
Yeah.
What about you, Vylter?
Well, I was thinking of trying to make green sexy, find a way to make green sound sexy, but I don't really know how to do that. Like, if you don't live in the Pacific Northwest, I don't know that you necessarily think of green as a welcome color. You know how that's
It
just
could
sort of
be-
like a Oregon and Washington State thing, where like I don't know where everyone lives, but knowing that you guys don't all live in the Pacific Northwest, since moving here
Yeah, no, I feel you.
a little over a year ago, it's like, well, fucking everything's green, and most colors that aren't green look weird when everything else is. So I don't know. There's a particular green that I find at the bottom of a lagoon floor, in a couple of spots around the
Oh.
Puget Sound, and one up near Cape Flattery, which is like the edge of like the continental United States headed westward.
Right.
There's a certain green to the lagoon floor in many spots in Washington that just make my heart kind of.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I'm kind of a naturalist, so I just sort of go with where I am. 2 years ago, I would have probably given you some variant on beige because I lived in the Nebraska Panhandle. And so most of what I saw was, brown on some level, or rock, which is more accurate.
Right. Okay.
I mean, it's better than being a Poseidist.
I don't even know what that is.
Neither do I. I'm scared.
Oh, you don't know what Poseidism is?
No, what is that?
Do I have the permission to tell this poor soul what Poseidism is?
Well, I mean, I can also Google it, but I mean, this is a podcast. I may as well go with the bit. No, what does it mean?
We're all.
All right. So Poseidism is
Poor
a
soul.
political belief resting towards the libertarian left, the anti-government left, in which believers of this political belief actually they want to nuke the earth and restart. Yes, indeed. They want to nuke the earth and restart society without a government, as an anarcho-communist, like, mother state, but like kind of also mixed in with a night watchman state. But most importantly, they want to nuke the earth. So they're kind of on the wacky
the underlying
spectrum.
message is they're trying to nuke the earth, and like, who's gonna?
No,
do
they're not
anything about
actively
it?
trying. They're just trying to coax us into doing it ourselves so they don't get the blame, which is quite intelligent on their part.
That's
What a bunch
That's
of fucking
wild.
vampires.
what a bunch of fucking.
I know, right? They're total wackos. I love them, though. God bless.
Yeah,
No, I
Papa
mean,
bless.
Idea works on paper as like a premise for, I don't know, something artistic to explore, but like in real life, that means a lot of people suffer and die, not to mention everything that's wrong with that statement based on presumption that the earth belongs to us and not the other way around.
Right.
That's true.
Pretty much.
It's a very flawed political belief that takes into account a lot of ownership, which is weird because they're inherently communist.
Right,
So
but they
it's
believe
kinda
it's
like
from the Bible. So
I feel like we shouldn't
Yeah.
even be here. Like, that's my thing. I feel like we shouldn't.
I
Like,
would-
all of us shouldn't even be here. Like, all of us humans, we shouldn't even be here right now. Like, I don't know how we got here or why we're here, but we shouldn't be here. Cause we keep messing stuff up.
Well,
Yeah,
so
good
some of the
point.
movements that focus on the starting over a fresh attitude toward the political group you were just mentioning, the ones that want to start a new colony on a space station or on another planet, for all I know, these are parts of the processes that our species have been using to go from one planet to another for our entire existence. We just don't talk about it.
Right.
That's a good.
Who the hell knows?
Sure.
Actually,
We're living in a time where the government is like, yep, aliens are real.
Yeah.
the government
So-
is bees.
Yeah.
So we could kind of stretch our minds about what that really means. Like, are the aliens us?
Are we the aliens? Yeah, if I start seeing people
Right.
with
Oh,
we
aliens
definitely
coming
are,
down
man.
and then they look like me, then I just, well, good luck,
Well, see,
Charlie.
that's the thing. I don't even know if looking like us would qualify. Is this turning into a true alien conspiracy theory conversation? Because I could go on for a while.
We could
So if
go
I need
on
to
for
put on the
hours,
brakes-
but do we want to?
right. I'll put on the brakes. But to say this, I get to thinking about the movie The Fifth Element,
Yeah.
where
I love that movie. I
the
love that
visitors
movie.
come down, or rather, they come to visit the priest in the early 20th century in Egypt, and then they resurface in what I guess is New York City later, and this battle for good and evil turns out to be something that's based purely upon just the essential elements of corporeal life.
Right.
And then love is added as a fifth element. And at no point do the aliens look like humans. They can look like whatever. I assume they're just shapeshifters.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean,
Who
I don't know
knows?
that what
Yeah.
we experience when we think about what's going on that we don't know isn't just more of something that's part of us coming toward us.
Right.
Like maybe we travel to another planet every 4,000 or 5,000.
Definitely.
Mm.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I've always
What's
been a
what's more
firm-
interesting is to think about how that's going to affect society once it gets going. Like who's going to be excluded from travel, that sort of thing.
Right.
That's the stuff we can actually focus on here.
But the thing is, I've always been like a not firm believer, but I know it would be stupid to kind of think that aliens just like they're not even just like there's something else not outside of Earth,
Sure.
like with I forgot how many planets are in the Milky Way galaxy, but all these planets, you don't think one of them can habitat life?
Well, and I wonder if the reason that we constantly play with it, the conversation of it, because we're kind of, I don't know, dream boarding our next home. Like, well,
Yeah.
which one of these planets would be the most like what we want to do next? Maybe we
Yeah.
don't want another Earth.
'Cause we
Maybe we
don't-
do want to live
We
underground
don't know,
again.
cause yeah, Mars might be like habitable, but you know, it's always the thought, what if it isn't? And we just something like we all just die and stuff or whatever happens, right? But
Yeah.
like
The game is really moving the species forward, not how many of us survive. It's like, hey, can we take the gamble and keep doing that?
yeah, definitely. So
Because we've already kind of agreed on mass that we aren't staying on Earth much longer.
oh yeah, probably not. Yeah, no, definitely not because
I'm saying 50 years tops.
we've
Yeah, that
we've
sounds about
screwed
right.
up.
Well, I don't even know if we've screwed up. It might just be our time to go. Like maybe some people just start to know that before others.
Earth is just finna explode in like 2 years. We're just gonna figure it out. So the next
Yeah.
question. Hold on. Yeah, the next question is.
I say we ask Holojams asked a question in the group chat. I think we should ask
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
very
yeah.
good question.
Do you have any projects currently in the works or anything beyond that planned in the future?
Oh,
I'm always writing, like literally always.
Right. I
yeah,
get that.
yeah.
That's my answer.
That's a good answer.
Well, oh, is it my turn?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the thing is, no.
No. That was pretty honest and
Well,
straightforward.
it's
I
a
respect
bit more
that.
nuanced. It's a bit more nuanced. Me and Emily both know that we want to make a collaborative project in which she writes a novella or like a poetry compilation, and I make an album.
Right.
Like both based on the same themes, mainly like themes of discovery, themes of loneliness, our adolescent depression, you
Mhm.
know, stuff like that. But the thing is, I'm having a writer's block right now. I don't know
I-
what
I know.
I can necessarily do past a whole lifetime that would make what people perceive to be my sound be pushed to its boundaries.
Definitely.
Because the thing is, I've gotten a lot I've kind of found a love for physical musical instruments,
Mm-hmm.
and I've grown a distaste of computers.
Yeah, I definitely feel
Like,
that because I used to. Well, I still am, but I'm a tuba player at school, and like there was a point in time where I just didn't want to make music. I
You
just
play
wanted, like,
tuba?
yeah, tuba and
Mhm.
euphonium.
Yo, that's dope.
Awesome.
Oh my god, yo, the euphonium
Slow brass
goes
is the best.
hard.
Yes.
I beg to differ. Okay.
Oh, here he
I
goes.
I
Here
would
we
beg
go.
to differ. Okay, I do believe the woodwind section, especially the oboes and the flutes, such as I, and the
Whoa.
piccolos, go pretty hard. Okay.
No,
Oh,
you-
agreed. You guys work
You
so
guys do
hard to
work
keep
hard.
things going in an orchestra setting. My daughter, who just graduated high school, graduated first chair and was a drum major, first chair flute. And I got to tell you, I've seen the work people put in to make flute work. Like, that is hard shit.
Oh yeah, it's pretty
But
hard.
I was saying, sonically, I find low brass the most. But anyway,
Nah, flute has techniques. Flute's got a couple of a couple of things up their pockets. We can go high.
oh yeah.
Definitely.
can
And there's
go
also really
low.
low flutes too. Yeah, like the contrabass
Yeah,
flute.
bass
Oh my-
flutes
the
are really
contrabass flutes,
difficult.
Oh my
They are
lord.
scary, scary things to be in the same room with, but like they're
Oh yeah.
gorgeous too.
Yes, they are.
They
you ever
push
seen a
so
contra
much air,
saxophone?
it's unbelievable.
The
Oh,
contrabass
yeah.
sax, yeah, those and what's the next step beyond a tuba? Like the larger tubas, don't they have another
The
name?
Titanic tuba, I think.
Yeah, yeah, like the ones that just
You-
could actually make a building like fall apart
Yeah.
if you had enough of them.
Yeah. Like when I saw the contrabass saxophone, it's like injecting the regular saxophone, like an alto or a tenor or something, or a barry, and just like injecting it with like some super growth hormone, and now it's like huge and like the size of the human body. Like that was the scariest thing I've ever
Yeah.
seen in my life. It looked like
Yeah,
It's kind of like you add a sub oscillator to the actual instrument. It's really weird.
yeah.
Yeah, synths, dude. They exist everywhere.
yeah. I was yeah. Hold on. I say so a lot, don't I? What is your favorite video game if you have one?
Well, that's a good question.
Yo, I'm a gamer. Okay.
We love
I
that.
play video games, okay?
Again, we love that.
All right. Shit. Favorite video would have to say Osu.
Oh, so
Mm,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that one up.
I'm kind of a closeted weeb.
yeah.
All right. I'm glad we're clear on that.
I
'cause
don't
am
I don't
too. It's
watch
okay.
anime. I don't
Alright,
watch
well,
anime. I don't
mind.
participate in anime related discussions. But boy, howdy do those opening themes slap.
Oh my god. I'm glad you think so.
Also, clicking on circles goes hard.
Vylter, do you have a favorite video game?
Yeah, but they're all old as shit.
Oh, let
Go
me
It's
ahead.
hear
not a
'em.
problem.
Okay, Mega Man 2 through 6.
I love Mega Man.
Yeah, agreed.
Definitely the something about the music composition. As much as I love the music for the first game, the intensity of the composition made the intensity of the playing, like each game, just a little bit harder and a little bit weirder. And as the graphics,
Yeah, I agree.
as the
Mhm.
graphics became better once they were able to move the series on to like better consoles, to tell you the truth, it kind of lost some of its magic for me because I don't think it was as music driven as it had been.
Yeah.
But like a lot of Capcom games are like that. They're strongly driven by soundtrack. Another odd one that I don't even know if anyone's played in like recent memory, but like there was an actual like video game sort of driving simulator for the show Knight Rider
Mm.
that was on
Really?
NES back in '89 or '90. Yeah, I don't think it was terribly popular, but I was still a fan of the show and just got the game. And as it turns out, it was just a fun like driving through this city, trying not to crash into shit.
pretty neat.
It has really great landscapes in it, and so occasionally I'll see that aesthetic in a lot of vaporwave art. I realize like why I still remember that game is because it looked really.
Right.
I could never
Definitely.
find a game that had as good a look and a match of good music to it. It seemed like they were never in the same world on the old.
Mm. I
Not
respect
sure
that.
why that is. The most recent game that I used to play way too much of was Saints Row. Way.
Which one?
The original one for
Oh,
Xbox.
okay. Yeah,
Xbox One.
I probably played like 3 and 4 and stuff like that. What's your favorite video game, Zoro? Yo, Zoro, you there?
Oh, it cut out.
Oh,
Didn't say my name. It just cut out completely. Nice.
fair enough.
Favorite video game? Oh, that's quite a question. I am a pretty big Pokemon nerd, but I really like
I can
the
tell by
Mario
your
and
name.
Luigi RPG series,
Right.
like the Bowser's Inside Story and the Superstar Saga type of stuff. They're
Definitely.
really fun. Some awesome music. Just really a great experience.
I respect
I
that.
concur. What about you,
Yes,
Titan?
Yeah, what about you, Tiny?
Wow.
Yeah.
Shit. I usually just play. It's not a favorite because I lose and I suck shit at it. But Overwatch. That's one of the games I play on the regular. Favorite games of all time would be probably Minecraft because it's just like it's nothing really like crazy you have to do. Just go around and like mine shit and hopefully fight the dragon. But at the end of the day, just mine shit and have fun with your friends. That's what I enjoy.
Yeah, just vibe out.
Or any Dragon Ball Z game that I've played. That's
What about Fighter Z? You good at that?
Oh man, I'm not usually good at the side by side like fighting games, but like I did like it and I was decent at it.
Yeah, but it's an Arc Sys game, so like, of course the mechanics are gonna be bloated as hell, and like, the combo system is not gonna be. Like, I grew up playing mainly Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, so like I had an understanding of advanced movement and tech in fighting games. But for Arc System, it just kind of works differently. It's like a whole landscape, and that's why I stick to Melee,
Right.
because that'll never die.
Same.
Yeah.
Yes. What's the next one? What's your favorite '80s movie?
Specific question.
Flight of the Navigator for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's wholesome,
I
but
would
it has some really weird stuff going.
Right.
Like Paul Rubens as an alien who is also a spaceship. Like that was wild.
Say in school, do you have one?
oh yeah. I would have to say Heather's.
Yo,
Nice.
can I marry you?
Whoa,
That's awesome.
I mean, whenever you want, baby girl. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay,
like,
wait a minute now.
Heather's goes so hard in the dark comedy. It is
Yeah,
almost
like okay. When I
like-
watched, like my friend showed me the musical, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's funny, And then I watched the movie, and like,
completely different. Right?
bruh.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Zoro, do you
It's
have a
fun.
favorite '80s movie?
See, the thing is, I do not watch many movies at all.
I'm gonna have to
Like,
give you some
I'm
directions.
sorry. I am not a movies person. I
That's
just don't do
fair.
movies.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. So
I feel so out of place. I don't think it's been like
fine.
months
It's
or
fine.
years since I've watched movies. I'm so sorry.
I have 4 '80s movies that like I just can't pick which one.
Top 4.
Top 4: Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2,
I feel that.
Yeah.
fuck,
Solid
Breakfast
choice.
Club and Heather's.
Yeah.
Breakfast
Yes.
Club. Yeah.
Those are good choices.
Yeah. When I
That's
it's funny.
I would
that's
also
that's
say
a nice
war
Saturday
games.
right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll also say War Games and Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, I love Ferris Bueller.
Mhm.
Oh my god, Ferris Bueller was good. But I
Yeah,
remember-
those are definitely like the two best Matthew Broderick films of
I
the
remember
80s.
talking to
Yeah.
I remember talking to Corp, Castleton Corp, and because one of my favorite albums by him is Class of '84, and I asked him like that album is really just it feels like kind of like a school type thing and da 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 da. I was like, what was your inspiration for that? He was like, oh, Breakfast Club and Vice City, and I was like,
Hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see splicing those two. Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
yeah. That was different. That was a different answer I never heard before. Um. Yeah, but I love watching 80s movies. You know, like it's. I mean, me being young, of course, is gonna take me back to a place I've never been before. But it, you know, like I still love watching them. You know, but
But see, that's a phenomenon that I believe that exists. There's a word for it. The I can't remember what it is, but it describes the feeling of longing for a place you've never been.
right,
Like, but it's like a familiar feeling. And like, yeah, like I've seen movies from long ago, and like it would instantly give me a kind of like a pang in my heart. Like, why can't I be wherever this is or whenever this
right.
is?
That's what the
Yeah.
pain I get when I see like the Have you ever seen the Cherry Pepsi music video where it's just it's like the like all these different Pepsi commercials and stuff like that, and I was like, well, I want to be in a Pepsi commercial, and then I see like the Kylie Jenner ad, and I'm like, never mind. No, I don't.
Yeah, well, things change.
Yeah.
It's different when billionaires are in Pepsi ads as
Yeah.
opposed to just like aesthetic nobodies that are trying to become somebodies. That I
The
root for
only,
them a little bit
I
more.
mean, like when in the
Just
'80s
a bit.
or like the later '80s, like oh, no, not the later '80s, but like you know they start having like Michael Jackson, and then I think Lionel Richie in some of the ads, like they start having like big pop stars in it. I was like, whoa, 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 and then like that's the Michael Jackson ad is one of my favorites because I actually sampled that on Prelude to CrossFit.
Prelude.
Yeah, on Prelude to
Oh
CrossFit.
yeah, yeah.
And just hearing Michael Jackson's voice, like first of all, talking about Pepsi, like that's out of the fucking ordinary. But I mean, it still slapped. But I really, yeah, I like Pepsi commercials definitely. Man, do you have a favorite restaurant, and why is that your favorite restaurant? Like, what specific food item makes you love that restaurant more?
All my favorite restaurants are closed.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, that's true.
I mean, McDonald's is still open in a
yeah,
pinch,
yeah,
but
yeah.
besides that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I used to love to go have Russian dumplings at this place downtown. It's literally just called Rush Inn Dumplings.
What a name.
What a name.
You can order borscht, and they'll do custom like sauces or whatever for their dumplings. Like,
Wow.
it doesn't seem like the kind of food anyone would make a point to go have, but something about the flavor and just the variety of food, like, really is not the kind of thing I make at home much. So that's what I miss most. If it's something that I used to go just to have that I would never make at home and now can't have it, it means I'm not eating. So that's why I'm sad.
I feel
And
that.
that's fine. So Russian dumplings, once Thurston County opens back up, please come back.
Yeah, stay in school. Do you have a favorite restaurant and like a favorite food item on that restaurant?
I do. It is very simple. You see, I am a messy drunk.
Oh no.
I am a very, very messy drunk. And when I am drunk and messy, there is always one place to calm my spirits, fill my stomach, and make me regain the energy to party one night. And that place is Shish Tony.
Is that
Shish
is that a
Tony.
local restaurant?
That is a local restaurant. It's a shish taouk place here in Quebec. It has 2 restaurants, and both of them are pretty good. But the one, like, on the side of the mall, like, if you don't know Quebec City, there's basically Boulevard Laurier, and on Boulevard Laurier, there's 3 malls side by side.
Huh.
It's kind of a mess in city planning, but that's neither here nor there. What is both here and there is Shish Tony. Shish Tony is at the perfect spot because it's 1, close to home, and 2, close to everywhere I party. So it's always a solid choice for when you're hungry because it's open 24/7. All the food is fresh cooked and it's prepared in front of you. And most of all, it's pretty cheap. Like, considering the amount of food you get, it's actually really cheap. So like it's a shish kebab in a wrap, and that's pretty much it. It's really good. It's just solid comfort food. And also they sell alcohol there 24/7. So once you're 18. It's pretty fun.
Yo.
But also,
Oh shit.
but also, it's a money laundering scheme, and the police get corrupted.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you
it's a
always
proper
see.
business. Excellent.
Yeah, you always see two policemen, like coming out of the kitchen with a big, blackout trash bag. And
Nice.
the owner of the restaurant who serves you doesn't want you to see that, so he gives you extra potatoes while he's serving you to distract you from the fact that there's obvious police corruption going on.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's
I don't
really
know.
fun.
That's a romantic way to commit crime.
I know, right?
Oh yeah, it's very,
Here's
it's
some
very
extra
beautiful.
potatoes so you don't snitch on us.
Just out in the open, very pleasant about it all. Like, you guys don't really care if this happens to you, and everyone's like,
Nah, I've
nah.
seen worse.
Nah, the food's good, so it's all good.
Food's
Yeah.
over.
Oh yeah, it hits hard. It hits hard. Plus, it's on Uber Eats, so I can just get some.
Yeah. Zoro, do you have a favorite restaurant?
Favorite
food at the
restaurant? The city I live in, Marietta, in Georgia, has they have a bunch of like local restaurants by the same family, but they have a diner. It's just simply called Marietta Diner. It's kind of famous because Guy Fieri went there
Right.
and ate some of the food.
No way.
Mr.
That's
Diner Drivers
crazy.
Dies himself was there. It's pretty good food. It's just like a sit-down diner type of place. It's a little famous in the area.
Right.
Famous fast food though, like it's always Five Guys. Five Guys is the best burgers in the world.
Yes.
They have the
Never
best
had Five
fries in
Guys.
the world, that's for sure.
Fries.
Sorry.
Yeah.
God.
I will fight you over this. They have the best fast food.
This so my favorite restaurant is this place. I don't know if you guys have it where you're at. I don't think it's in Canada. I don't think it's in Canada's school, but when I went down south in like Louisiana and stuff, it's this restaurant called Raising Cane's, and it's a chicken place, and I can't eat chicken the same anymore. Like, now when I eat
That
chicken, I just get upset because this isn't as good as I wanted it to be.
Right on.
But yeah, I think Raising Cane's is a good chicken place. And I think my favorite thing is just chicken, of course. Next question.
Oh, hold on. I just remembered something amazing. I have this wonderful story I've been meaning to share. Just the greatest story.
Oh, let's hear it.
A while ago, we went down to Philadelphia to go see my relatives. And because we were down there, we're like, yeah, why not? We'll drive down to, like, New Jersey down there and, like, Ocean City and stuff just for fun. And this is a specific story. We were driving back, and I check my Pokemon Go, and I see a Pokestop for a place called the Grilled Cheese and Crab Cake Company.
Oh boy.
Not even joking.
What?
Yeah. And we go, I'm like, can we stop? That sounds pretty cool. I'm like, okay, and you go in there. Actual grilled cheese and crab cake.
That is like.
Guess who else was there? Guy Fieri himself was also at the grilled cheese and crab cake company in
What the hell?
in the middle of New Jersey. I mean, it was-
So
he's
what I'm
everywhere, though.
hearing is that you follow Guy Fieri around. Like,
no,
for IRL restaurant recommendations.
I didn't mean to follow him around. This looked cool. Let's stop here. And
You guys are on the same
I
wave.
still have.
Nah. We know what Zorox is doing in his spare time.
No, I swear. I still have the pamphlet from it because I wanted to keep this just because this is. It wasn't that bad, despite the fact it's grilled cheese and crab cake.
Right.
I don't know. That's kind of a compelling combo for like a lunch stop. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
It was just in the middle of nowhere, too. That's why I was confused.
Huh.
It was like 2 miles off of Ocean City, like off the road. It's just such a story I like to tell.
I was gonna say that sounds like real coastal like food choices. Like we have some of the same stuff I've seen like in North California and Southern Oregon on the way up here. That
Yeah.
same kind of like grilled cheese and something. I can't remember what the something.
It was something.
Yeah. But like so I remember a restaurant like that over here we passed through like last year when we moved here. Like, see now you got me missing restaurants because that's like the one
No.
thing that I haven't been able to like go enjoy like 3 months now.
Do you know how
Unfortunately.
bad I want Chinese food right now?
Oh my god, for real. Yeah, I mean we can get takeout where we are. Can you not? Where you
Yeah.
are?
I think we
Can
can
you
get
not?
takeout, but my grandma's probably not gonna be like, sure, I'll buy you some Chinese food. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna go make chicken, I guess.
it's like $15 a pop. So yeah.
Chinese food's expensive.
Yeah.
With
Um,
delivery and all.
I just wanted to tell my story about the grilled cheese and crab cake company.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's an excellent story. If I'm ever on the East Coast, I'm gonna have to look for that.
So,
I think there's just one restaurant in the middle of New Jersey. If you're going to
How
Ocean
bad do you
City
wanna go to-
for some reason,
Where is that in relation to Atlantic City?
I have like no clue. I'm
Is
gonna
it like-
search up. You get a map
Yeah.
of New Jersey. Hold on.
I was gonna say I have maps. I don't know why I'm asking
I
questions.
was just in there for like a day, not even a day. We were just there, just to go to the
Huh.
beach, hang out.
all right.
Right on.
And it was weird because the whole reason I knew it was there was because I was playing Pokemon Go and just checking stuff out, which is strange. If you see my Twitter, I still play it, but
I should play Pokemon Go.
it's
again,
really
but
an experience when you click on a Pokestop and it says Grilled Cheese and Crab Cake Company,
that
as
does-
seen on Diner Drive-In and Dives. That was quite an experience. I think I still have the screenshot. I love sharing that story.
So the last question before we end off the podcast, I guess, and just go off back into our regular normal lives. And while I'm editing this
I
video,
hate that.
So what is your favorite album outside of Vaporwave?
Hard question.
I was waiting for this one.
question. Oh, Let's see.
Wait, me?
Oh, I guess we got
Go
another
ahead.
question from EXE.
oh,
Oh,
well then we could do both. Come on.
Okay, yeah, we can do both.
is it still my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn. It's your turn, doesn't it? Yeah, you get your answer.
Don't we love this communicative chemistry? Boy, howdy. I will
Oh my
have
God.
to say,
I found the screenshot.
right now, my favorite album has to be. No, not right now. I think for a long time, my favorite album was Claude Balling's Suite for Flute and Jazz Piano with Jean-Pierre Rampal on the flutes. And the cover, as you may know from my Twitter record haul that I did 2 days ago,
Right.
is a piano and a flute engaging in a post-coitus cigarette. So yeah, jazz man does crazy stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Sure do.
and I just found it on vinyl for like $5, which was pretty neat.
Cool.
Vylter,
But
what's your
my favorite album that's like more mainstream and that people
Oh,
might
well,
actually
yeah, I'll
know
finish
what I'm
his
talking
answer.
about. Oh shit, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, you're fine. You can finish yours, and then we'll go into Vylter.
Alright, it's Against All Logic's 2012 to 2017.
Yeah. Mhm. That's an
It's what
awesome
I want
album.
my house music to be.
Right.
It's amazing. And the record is so good too. Like the pressing quality and everything.
I just put the picture of the grilled cheese and crab cake company stop in the group chat just so you could experience this.
Wait, let me see. Jeez.
Real photo I took. I just didn't realize the description just says Guy Fieri favorite. And you can't
Wow.
just stop. You can't just drive by a place that has such an appeasing title.
I think it's like
Oh no, I confused
Your
someone
whole-
else in the chat.
it's your duty to actually go there, I think.
Guy
Guy
Fieri.
Fieri favorite.
It's your duty.
I have it marked on my maps as a place I'm going to go in the future. So now it knows where it is.
Yes.
Oh my god, this food looks great.
Oh, it actually looks really
So I
good.
guess the last question came from EXE. He says, "Who is your favorite member of the Spice Girls and why?"
that was gonna be a serious question.
Ginger.
Yes, it is a serious question, and I
That is such a
respect
serious
the
question.
ginger opinion.
Yeah,
I
well,
respect
okay,
the ginger opinion.
there's a reason for it. In 1997, I was dating someone who looked a lot like Ginger Spice, and my choice was made for me. You know, because
Classic.
why wonder what it's like to meet the other four when you are dating the doppelganger of one of the five?
Right.
Good
And then we
point.
broke up, and then I wondered why she left the Spice Girls. And to tell you the truth, I haven't really liked them as much since she left.
Hard. I hope you can find another girl band to fill your.
Oh, I'm
Wait,
happily
no,
married
fuck.
now, but we were having like 90s
Mhm.
flashbacks, so I was just
Yeah,
saying,
that's fine.
no, it
I
was
said
really cool.
something wrong. I hope no one rewinds.
No, they're gonna edit everything. Remember?
Okay, thank
That's
God.
so
Oh, no,
bold
Bell-
of
That's
you to
really
assume.
horrible.
That's so bold of you to assume I'm gonna edit anything. Like
I
that's
know
the
Good
that was
point.
sarcasm.
that's the boldest thing I've ever heard you say. Like nothing is gonna get edited. Like I was
I know,
thinking about it.
I
Like
know.
should I edit it today?
No.
No.
No, the chemistry goes off. We don't necessarily need to do anything.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
my favorite is Mel B. I am a sucker for black
Right.
women.
I mean, who isn't?
Racists.
Mel B's great.
Who just set off a firework at 6:00?
Why
I'm
aren't
sorry,
you
that's
setting
random,
off
but
fireworks at
it was
6
a
o'clock?
it was a single firework.
Wait, what? Isn't it Memorial Day weekend?
It's
Holy shit,
6:23
it is.
p.m. Oh.
You know,
Whoa.
I agree.
So,
Yeah,
I
like,
his
that's too
answer.
early.
It's 6:23 p.m. I don't know.
I agree. My parents live in Canton, not too far from you, and I'm sure when I talk to them next, they'll be complaining about people shooting off fireworks at 6:23 p.m.
Ugh. That's what I do for a living, is complain about people shooting off fireworks.
They're upsetting, especially if you have pets. It's just
Yeah,
unnecessary.
my dog be just tripping, just running away. I'm like, all right, my bad. I'm sorry. I wish I could help.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do for them, and they look at you helpless, and it's just traumatizing
My
every
dog
time.
especially,
They never
she just looks
get
up
more
at me.
used to it.
She just looks up
Yeah.
at me like, "Are you serious? She's gonna let this happen?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot I can do about it."
Poor doggy.
But
For the Spice Girl,
huh?
for the Spice Girls, I'm gonna have to say Scary Spice.
Right.
I'm a sucker for a girl who can make me swoon by stepping on my throat.
Jesus
God.
Christ, that's something.
Well, I mean, any of the five are qualified for that. But
Yeah, I was
Good
gonna say
point.
they
They've
all
got the
can
heel-
do that if you want them to.
They've got the
They're
heels to do it,
notorious
but I
throat
like
steppers.
these. They
Notorious
are.
Throat.
They
That's
really
giving me
are.
my first alias name, is Notorious Throat Steppers. Thank you guys for that.
I want to
Ew.
cut.
I'm so sorry.
If you release an album under that name, I will give
I'm
you
gonna
$20.
It sounds like an album I would totally hear on Illuminated Path.
All right, so we're gonna end off.
No
that's-
offense to Illuminated Paths.
We're gonna
Okay,
end off
so
on that
needs
note.
to release something path and call it that.
Illuminated Path be putting some weird shit in the packages. I tell you, cause Zoroark just told me he got his package, and he told me he just got like some really just weird stuff from them, and I don't know.
They sent me a nice little pamphlet about secondhand smoke. Now I know.
now.
Huh, good
Now
point.
you know.
Now you know.
That's no shot at Illuminated Pass. Bosby.
They're
I swear.
awesome. They're awesome.
From what I
Illuminated Paths.
understand, like some of the packages I get from them, I think they put some things in as filler to help
Yeah,
protect the tape cases.
That's
Yeah.
what.
And instead
Yep.
of just putting in like random paper, they actually make an effort to include like theme.
Yeah, they sent me a
like-
nice Florida lottery ticket to cover
I
it
was
all
gonna
up.
say, like, I have two, and I'm wondering like if we should send them to people we know that live in Florida and try to see if we can get them out.
Oh, I wonder if I still have it here.
That's.
I think I still have it here. The strangest thing they sent me was a track listing for a different album.
What?
Well, that'll happen.
Yeah. Which is a little confusing. I hope
Well, I mean,
that
in the
gets...
way that typically works in their cassettes, like they add like a little notebook like inside the cassette case. So yeah, I'm sure those get mixed in. I've got one for
Uh-huh.
an album I don't recognize.
Yeah. But
But I do
Illuminated
like all
Paths-
the little grocery
The grocery
ticketing
thing, it's
stickers.
such a cool little
That's
thing.
really niche. I really like that.
Where's mine? I think I have a pomegranate one. Where's my pomegranate? Uh-oh, did I lose it? They did
Well,
send me a very nice sticker
alright.
of Mac Tonight in a
Just
tiny
order
red
another
card.
tape, and I'm sure that they'll include it.
Yeah. All right,
True.
so we're gonna end the recording off here. We're probably gonna talk a little bit after this anyway, but we're gonna end off the recording right here, and we're gonna I'm gonna not edit this. I'm just gonna put it up as is, unedited, just raw. quality content, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank our special guest, Stay in School, and Vylter, and go listen to their albums.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no
Go
problem.
follow them on
Thanks for
Twitter.
having me, sir.
I'm so
On-
glad you guys said yes.
Yeah.
I
Thanks for
never miss
asking.
up
I'm
the.
first one
I would
first one of these I've
never
ever
give
done.
up a ch-
Yeah.
I would never give up a chance to talk with.
I mean, we were thinking about, making you guys future co-hosts, so, just we have 4 people on here and, just collectively talking about vaporwave stuff. But we're glad to have you two. We're glad to have you two, and so everybody watching this, like, comment, and subscribe, and go check out Buffalo City 1 and all my other albums at Hollow Gems, and go follow Zorark. He's a really good reviewer.
What's up?
And go listen to Stay in School's music and Vylter's music. They're really experimental, and I love it. And